going to do a little radio today at WGIV in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hello.
Hey.
And we've got, I'm sorry.
Courtney.
Courtney as well. And we're going to do a little
this in the art of omnipresence. Doesn't just apply to law, it applies to everything. Cool. You sit down? Sit down. Okay.
You gotta move back.
9, 10.
Okay.
I can count to 10. I can do that.
Excellent.
That's pretty.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready with you.
Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2. This is the Profit and Growth Hour, and I'm your host, Dr. Business, coming at you through WDRB Media and WGIV, the soul of Charlotte. So glad that you tuned into this another Profit and Growth segment. Always looking to give you something for your mind, something for your heart, and something for your hands. We want our people to be an intelligent being so that when you go out and do what you do on a daily basis, you are oh so prepared for what life has in store for you. We're always interested in bringing in innovative and creative individuals to be able to share their knowledge, their wealth of information, their wisdom, so that our tomorrows will be better than our today. We have one such person here in the studio with us. He is an attorney at law, goes by the name of Greg McIntyre. He is with the McIntyre Law Firm.
Yes.
And they can get onto your website by going to www.mcelderlaw.com.
That's correct. McIntyre Elder Law.
McIntyre Elder Law.
Yes, sir.
Is
Yes,
it
sir.
mcelderlaw.com or McIntyreelderlaw.com?
Just like McDonald's. MC.
MC.
Elderlaw.com.
Elderlaw.com.
McElderlaw.com. There you go.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Good. How has the lawyering business been for you these days?
It's treating me well. It's treating me really well. I mean, it's allowed me I look at any business I've ever been in, any job I've ever had, has been a vehicle to get me to where I want to be. Right now, one of my big goals is getting to some monetary goals, expanding our offices, and really ethically taking care of my family. I think that's where my first duty is. Mm-hmm. And all the jobs I've had leading up to now have allowed me to be true to myself and take care of myself, take care of my family, and get me to where I am right now. I don't want for anything, which is very good.
Yeah, that's an absolutely wonderful place to be.
Except for what I want for, which is more
exactly.
things, right?
Well, there's a difference between needs and
that's
wants.
That's right. I don't need.
And as long as our needs are satisfied,
right.
Now we can start planning for the future. Because oftentimes, if we're worried about what it is that we're going to eat and where we're going to sleep and how we're going to pay the bills, and
right.
the bill collector's calling us every 5 minutes, it makes it very difficult to chart a 5-year plan. Because you're just trying to get through the next 24 hours.
You're just worried about where you're going to eat or how you're going to put clothes on the kids' back or how you're going to get rent money. I've been there.
Right. Absolutely. And I think we all have,
sure.
For the most part, unless you were born with that silver spoon in your mouth.
That's correct.
But that is a rarity.
Yeah.
But most people, even those that have the ability to put the silver spoon in their mouth, typically their parents want them to understand a good work ethic.
Yes, sir.
Because not everything in life is going to be handed to you.
Mm-hmm.
So if they are good parents, even though the resources are there, they still want that child to recognize and understand that hard work is something that you need to do, and that typically things aren't given to you on a silver platter. Therefore, you have to go out of your way and work towards what it is that you want. And that oftentimes takes a plan. It takes a process to be able to get to that next stage. And a lot of times people don't have that roadmap to success.
I agree with you. You need a roadmap to get to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, thank you so much for having me on the show. I very much appreciate it.
Absolutely.
To all the listeners out there. And also, I want you to teach me how to do that intro. I'm still thinking about the intro. I mean, I'm just rolling to it. Hey, I'm Greg Mack. I'm lawyer Greg. And listen to me. But you got the voice going up and down and dude, that is perfect. That is awesome. I need to start my client meetings that way.
Okay.
We'll work on it after the show. All right. I'll pay you for your time. Okay. There you go. I hear you. Anyway, but yeah, I think you're right. I think you need a plan. You need a way, a roadmap to get to where you want to be, and a lot of hard work and effort.
And it takes some steps.
I think you can break anything you want to do. You can back that out into steps and how to get there. And you should spend the time doing it. And the time you spend planning it and doing it is going to be invaluable.
Now, you
Although
obviously...
I don't like planning to death. I don't like paralysis by analysis.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of the best things that I've ever fallen into in my life, opportunities, have been because I just literally put myself out there. Literally because I drove to Charlotte to do a radio show.
Right.
Or just got in there and let my personality and my preparation on the back end get me through it. Right?
Yes, because sometimes people overthink.
Yeah, they do, and it paralyzes them. They're scared to get out there.
That's true.
That's part of what we're going to talk about today. Is definitely a step and a plan to get out there, but also not being scared. Good is better than great. My mom's a perfectionist, man. You know what I'm saying? And she saves pennies. You know, makes me turn the lights off when I leave the room.
Okay.
But she's not a multimillionaire. God bless her. You know what I mean?
Right.
She's not a billionaire. Okay. And I think there's a reason for that. I think that's a mindset. I think you got to get the content out there. Look at Google, man. Google is the biggest example of this. Biggest company on planet Earth. Man, they release stuff with bugs. That's all they do.
Right.
Fix it as they go along. Apple does the same thing.
But at least they get it out there.
They
start.
Get it out there.
Right.
Get yourself out there. Get your content out there.
And I think that's what's important because a lot of times people want things to be perfect before they release it. And a lot of times that perfection stops them from getting the type of, what do you call it? When on-the-job training.
OJT. That's right.
Yes,
OJT.
on-the-job training.
Trial by fire is the best way to
You
learn.
get it out there, and then based upon the feedback that you get from your constituency, from your target audience, then you can tweak it and make the necessary changes. Because no matter how much you analyze, no matter how much you try to perfect the thing, it's really never going to be perfect.
Babies are born knowing how to swim. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
You just got to throw them in the pool.
That's right.
You just got to jump in the dang pool.
Because they're in the womb already swimming.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's true.
Birds learn how to fly. You just got to
throw them out the nest.
Kick them out of the nest.
That's right. Absolutely.
And instinctively, you will adjust to that situation, and you are geared instinctively towards success. Arm yourself with a little preparation and a plan, and that's hard to beat.
That's right. A lot of times, the whole element of faith sometimes stops a person from getting to the next level because James in the Bible tells us that faith without works is dead. So you can have all the faith in the world, but until you put some work behind that faith, it never amounts to anything.
I'll tell you how I visualize that. I know exactly what you're saying. I've been through that same thought process and looking at faith in a religious sense and having faith that you are going to have success or that what you're doing is meaningful and you're going to get to where you want to go. Or at least where you get to is going to be better than where you are right now.
Absolutely.
I'll give you a visual of how I visualize it.
Okay.
You ever seen Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom?
I have, yes.
You remember where he's looking across the chasm and he can't figure out how he's going to get across and he throws some sand across? And it's just kind of, he can go across because there's something there that looks like the floor below, but he's walking across this bridge.
Right.
I look at it almost that way, as if the bridge is literally going to appear under my feet as I go.
As you go.
That's correct. But I have to have faith that I can take the steps.
Take that step.
And that there's enough smart people around me, enough people that care about me, the Lord, if you will, okay, as well, whatever your faith is, that they're going to carry me to the other side, and I'm going to get there, okay?
That's
But the decision, you get killed at the crossroads, right? You stand in the middle of the crossroads, that's where you're going to get run over. You got to make a decision. You have to make a decision to go one path or the other and take the steps to do it to get to the other side. Okay?
Absolutely.
So that's the way I look at it visually. And I think literally the bridge and the path is going to appear under my feet, and it always does, and it always has. And the more I'm willing to take those leaps of faith, the further I get faster.
Wow. What is the first step? What does a person have to do first in order to reach the level of success?
Sure. I'm going to talk a little bit about omnipresence. Well, first you have to get attention. I mean, it's no different than a sales call. Okay. Old school, like the old school hardworking men and women who'd go out, your vacuum cleaner salesman that went door to door, man. I mean, you're out there, if you're quiet as a mouse knocking on the door. And you got to get attention.
I used to sell
I'm
insurance
on your porch.
door to door.
Answer the door, okay?
That's right.
It's me. Can I have your attention for 20 seconds, please? Okay?
Right.
Like right now, okay? If you don't get to someone's attention and they're not paying attention to who you are or your brand, then you can say anything. You can tell them the secret of the universe, and it would not matter.
Wouldn't matter. That's right.
Because they're not listening.
That is true.
So first, I think the first most important thing is to get attention.
Get your name out there.
Get attention, period. Yes, with your message. That's correct. Well, first, you just got to get them to listen to you.
Okay.
How are you going to do that, right? How are you going to do that? Well, there's a lot of ways to do that. Me, I quit trying to do everything in law just to relate to that. I used to be a doorway. You know, I graduated from law school. I had 2 kids and a wife, and Daddy had to work, man. You know, and I did, and I took about everything coming through the door, and I learned how to do a lot of different areas of law. Anybody who walks through the door, let's door law. Okay, and then I figured out, you know, I don't want to be a mile wide and an inch deep with my knowledge.
Right.
I narrow it down and focus on really one thing and get really, really good at it. And get good, you know, something that really resonated with me was get really good at the small, simple things. So get really good at a few things that you do with your knowledge or your skill set. Man, if it's selling cars and you're the car guy, then be the daggum car guy. Be the best. I'm the car guy.
Right.
Or I'm the Chevy guy. Or I'm the Audi dude. You know? Whatever it is, I'm Mr. Audi. You know?
That's right.
Whatever it is. And know that car and just get really good at a few things that you do really well in selling that car.
Wow.
But you got to get attention first, okay? And how do you do that? How would you get attention? Being on the radio?
Marketing and advertising.
Sure,
right.
certainly.
Getting your name out there.
Yeah.
Obviously, the radio contributes to mass media.
Sure.
So you never know who's listening.
But it's an efficient podium. That's what I like to
Absolutely. Because even the person that is listening to you, if they don't need your service, everybody has a sphere of influence.
And I'm reaching a lot of people.
Exactly.
Right. So.
And then they can let other people know that you exist.
Yes,
where
sir.
under normal circumstances, they wouldn't know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so first I think you have to look at where you are. Where are you advertising? Are you in the phone book? Are you on the radio? Where are you spending ad dollars? Do you have any ad dollars to spend? Hey, it doesn't take $1 million to get there. Okay?
That is true.
Man, Facebook is free. YouTube's free. Twitter, Google Plus, whatever that is. I haven't figured out that yet. But apparently it contributes to search results.
That's right. Absolutely.
Emails are free. Word of mouth's free. Handing somebody an article that you've written or something about what you do is free. Or very low cost. There's a lot of low cost ways to get out there.
Right. Absolutely.
And if I wasn't taping part of this with my phone and airing it on Periscope right now, which goes around the world instantaneously for free, or Meerkat, one of those apps, which you could do a weekly show with, then I'd hold it up and I'd tell you that you could make as much money as you wanted to with your phone.
That is true, because technology has certainly changed. Back in the day,
it gives you power. It gives you
know,
power
had to do text messaging and fax machines and that kind of thing. Back in the day, with the whole Paul Revere, the British are coming, and you're on that horse type of thing.
Horse, man.
Exactly.
But at least he got on the horse.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
But nowadays, we can reach the world instantaneously. So people really need to start taking advantage of their advantages.
That's correct.
And take advantage of technology in that regard.
I call it the art of omnipresence, and it's getting your name out there everywhere all the time. Okay? All the time.
So every form of media, whether it's PR, whether it's writing articles, whether it's blogging, whether it's doing tweets, whether it's posting stuff through your social media, e-blasting, everybody should be getting names and phone numbers of everybody that they come in contact with.
Oh man, and emails.
That's right.
And email address, and you know, get all their contact information that you can. Like, what's up, girl? Let me get your number. What's up, girl? Let me get your number, email address, and get it all, man.
That's right.
Get
you
it
never
all.
know.
That's right. You never know. And get out there, and while you're sitting around, or where somebody else is sitting around thinking, oh, what form of social media should I use? What form of this should I use? I'm going to already blast it out to everybody.
That's right.
Okay? I'm going to get it out there. I'm going to have already written an article, posted it to my blog, walked outside and done a video about it and elaborated more on it. Written, you know, put that in the pile to include in my book that's going to be coming out, right? And then, you know, started a weekly show that I'm going to do every week for everybody out there across the planet using Periscope and Meerkat.
Absolutely.
Okay?
And that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, so getting out there, getting known, getting attention, and letting people know that you exist.
Right.
That would be step one.
Because if you're on the porch and grandma doesn't know you're there, she can't buy or the family doesn't know you're there, they can't buy your vacuum cleaner, right?
Absolutely.
They can't buy whatever it is you're selling.
That's true.
And you can't help them.
Right.
I heard somebody say one time, if you want to make millions, help millions. And I really, really believe that.
That is true.
But
be
you can't
there
do it unless you get
to be an answer for somebody else.
Totally
be a blessing to somebody else. Help somebody else.
Help them.
And if you can create that level of success for somebody else by helping them out of their situation or circumstance, then you end up automatically getting blessed in the process.
Let me ask you this. How can you help someone with what you do if they do not know you exist?
Right? You can't.
I don't think you can. So I think
Right.
you have to get their attention first before you can help.
The whole best kept secret in town, that's not a compliment.
No, that's ridiculous.
That's not a good
No,
thing.
that's ridiculous. Yeah, keep making the best kept secret.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I look at.
Right.
So, yeah.
Family, don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Profit and Growth Hour. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk more with attorney Greg McIntyre. Be sure to give him a call at 704-259-7040. That's 704-259-7040. Check out his website at mcelderlaw.com. You're listening to us through WDRB Media and WGIV, the soul of Charlotte. I am Dr. Business, and we'll be right back. You're tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on WDRB Media and WGIV, the soul of Charlotte. So glad that you stay tuned in. You're listening to us here on our broadcast. We're so excited that we have attorney Greg McIntyre here in the studio with us. He is with McIntyre Law Firm. Check out his website at mcelderlaw.com. That's mcelderlaw.com. His phone number is 704-259-7040. 704-259-7040. You'll certainly be glad that you did. He has a wealth of knowledge and information, not only concerning the law, but also concerning life, concerning entrepreneurship. He's married. He has a ton of kids. Six children. Woo! That's a whole bunch. So you know that he has to be out there doing what it is that he needs to do in order to provide for his family. But then he has to go a step further and not just take care of his own, but also have enough left over to be a blessing to somebody else. Because we're blessed to be a blessing. So in order to get to that stage, we have to do things that normal people are not willing to do. We have to go to the next inch, the next mile, the next yard to be able to accomplish the things that we need to accomplish in order to achieve the vision and the goals that God has given us. Oftentimes we go through life punching the clock, doing the 9 to 5, doing just enough to keep a job, but not enough to excel at the job. We don't live life on purpose. We don't live full. We don't die empty. And as a result, we never reach our full potential because dreams go to die in the graveyard. And that's an unfortunate thing. So people need to really live out their dreams, live out their soul salvation, do what it is that they've been birthed and born to do. And when they do that, then people like us benefit from their wealth of knowledge and information as a result.
I totally agree. I mean, you got to put action to your dreams.
Absolutely. Got to put some legs to it. Got to put some wings to it.
Yeah.
Got to put some
We were
fins
just
to
talking
it.
about how hard you've been working.
Yeah.
How hard you work, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You weren't doing the 4-hour work week out there, right?
No. And even if I could, I probably wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Because there's too much that needs to get done. There's too many people that need to be blessed. There's too many people that need to benefit from what you have. Because even when you get to the point where you retire and you don't have to work, okay, well, what have you learned over the years?
Right.
What lessons have been taught? What testimonies do you have in order to be a blessing to somebody else?
Right.
So you can't just keep it to yourself and, okay, I've been successful, I've learned, just like we hope that our children are better off than we are.
Sure.
Well, the only way they're better off than we are is that we give them the best of us and what it is that's on the inside of us. Same thing with the world. We need to give the world the best of us and what's on the inside of us so that the world can be better than where we are now.
Yeah, I feel like I have just tons inside that I need to get out.
Right.
And that's really, I have to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're called to do it, and we're commissioned to do it, and that is something that we must do.
And it takes more than 4 hours to get it out.
Absolutely. Before the break, we started talking about getting attention. We started talking about getting your name out there, letting people know that you exist, utilizing all forms of marketing and advertising, from newspaper to magazine to social media to internet, website to radio, the blogging, whatever it is that you have to do to get a person's attention, to let them know, hey, I am here and this is what I do.
Yeah.
That's the first step in order to let people know that you exist and that you're ready and willing to serve.
And do it with a ridiculous level of frequency.
Yes.
Because there's so much content and noise flying around out there, you're literally spitting in the ocean if you're tweeting once a day or whatever else.
Exactly.
Get really, really frequent with your message.
Well, they say with Twitter, you have to tweet at least, I believe it's 5 times per day. And with Facebook, you have to do at least 3 posts per day. Is the rule of thumb or the minimums that I was told because of the frequency of others that you're competing against with regards to that message.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much traffic out there right now. There's like more media being generated right now than like beginning of time through the mid 1980s. Okay, literally like every year we put out more media just because there's more content flying through the airways and it's easier to get it out there. So take advantage of it.
Somebody was doing a LinkedIn post for me and put it out there, and then 5 minutes later, I went to them to see what it was, and they kept going down that timeline to try to find it because in that 5-minute time span, seemingly 100 other posts came through.
That's right.
So mine was all the way down at the bottom because of all the other traffic that was coming through.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's real.
Yes, I agree. So, you know, I look at next. Where are you? Where are you? You know, I'm sorry. Who are you? Who are you? You already know if you're listening. I'm an attorney. I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. I have a wife. I have 6 kids, and I love and try to take care of them. That's part of who I am. I don't separate it. I don't bifurcate that. I don't. You know, work-life balance to me is not a real thing. I think that's a misconception. I think that's a lie. Okay. I think
work-life balance is a lie.
Work-life balance is a lie. That's
Should not exist.
I mean, you know, I am working ethically. I have a duty to take care of my family, to work, to take care of myself, to take care of my clients. And I don't know how to turn that off at 5 o'clock when the bell rings or when the whistle blows. Okay?
Exactly.
I mean, I keep going with it. And you know, and sometimes I might discover. I call it discover second shift, work second shift. I tell people all the time. I tweet and blog and put it out on Facebook when I check back in at the office and I'm working second shift. I park my car out in front of the office so everybody knows I'm there. That's a Ben Franklin thing, by the way. If you look back at it, he's a hardworking guy, man. Yeah, really hardworking guy. Came from nothing, built himself up as an elder statesman, you know, educated himself, okay, because he just read all this stuff, right? And yeah, you know, you got to work to get to where you want to be. Discover second shift.
But people have the mindset, oh, well, you know, work hard, play hard, or, oh, you know, you have to be able to turn it off at a certain point in time, and you know, that there's always the green light, but then there has to be a stoplight, and you know, people are always looking to rest and relax and cut off the mind, I guess.
I ain't gonna burn out. I ain't no candle. so I'm serious, man. I'm not, you know, as long as
people feel that they are going to burn out,
you know why
and people feel that light is going to go out.
Because they're uninspired.
They're uninspired.
You got to have the fuel to keep that light on.
Wow.
You need the inspiration. So what's your inspiration?
So
find out
when
who the heck you are.
Turn that light off. That means they're not inspired.
That's right.
In my mind, I see that as not buying into a vision or not having a vision.
Yeah.
Because it's usually that vision that fuels that fire. It's that vision that's that light. And once you have that vision in our world here at the radio station, our work becomes our worship.
Right.
And at no point do you turn off your worship. Worship is 24/7.
Yeah.
So if your work is your worship, then work should be 24/7. In fact, it really shouldn't be work. It should be a part of your DNA and who you are as an individual.
Yeah, right now sitting here on the mic, my God's with me, my family's with me, my kids are with me, my ethical duty to provide for them is with me, and I'd like to give that blessing to everybody listening, that can be with you too. You need to stay inspired. Don't worry about what people say. Let me comment on that because that's part of who you are and who knows you. Haters are awesome.
That's true. If
haters
you
are
use
absolutely awesome.
If you use it to fuel the fire, if you use it to get to the next level.
If you do not have haters, you're not
doing something
you
right.
You have a vanilla message. You're middle of the road.
You're lukewarm.
I would tell you something about sitting on a fence, but I can't tell that on the radio. Okay, but that's true. You are lukewarm. You're not offending anyone. And let me tell you, there's so many people out there in the world today, 6 billion plus. Who, by the way, that's my target market, okay? I'm not going to be happy unless everybody knows my name.
That's right.
Right? I mean, I haven't even broken into the China market yet. I don't even know how, but I'm going to get there.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Some way, somehow.
But yes, and you know, some of them aren't going to like the message I have to preach. okay?
That's true.
Or that I'm talking about.
And they're not supposed to.
Right, they
Because
don't
if you're
have
not
to, man.
challenging somebody, if you're not provoking someone,
Right.
if you're not allowing them to think
Yes.
about what it is that you're sharing, then you're not causing enough ripples in the ocean.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
And haters will preach your message, will spread your message more than any fan ever will, okay?
That is true.
I'll just tell you that, right?
Mhm.
And there's some people, dude, I can think of a lot of people out there right now who are preaching messages that are really polarizing, and they're a perfect example of that, okay?
Yes.
If you have haters out there, they will preach your message and get your word out more than anybody that loves you and is a fan of you. Now, you need your fans too, and you're going to have those.
Absolutely.
Right? And it's not to just go out and make a bunch of people mad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying know who you are, know the place from which you're preaching your message from about your life, your family, and your business, which should not be separate because you are your business. I don't care if you're an entrepreneur who works for yourself or an entrepreneur who works for another organization. If you're a lawyer, for instance, in my field that works for a one-man firm or you work at a 500-man firm, you have a responsibility to you, to your organization, to your family, to bring in as much business as possible and do as well as possible. And you're going to be a rock star if you do that. You're going to be the man or the woman if you do that.
Because a lot of times people have that employee-employer mindset. As that
that's a whole
employee,
other show right there.
Exactly.
That's a whole show.
You're just punching that clock. You're just showing up. You're just putting in a day's work, but there's really no heart and no passion and no inspiration that comes with that.
But you can find it. You can find it wherever you are, whatever you do, that heart, that inspiration, that passion, and you tie it to who you have an ethical duty to help, and that's yourself and your family. Okay?
Absolutely.
And then if you can do that, I promise you, any employer, you will become the one that everybody goes to. And if you can't do it there, what makes you think you're going to be able to do it for yourself or anywhere else?
That
You know
is
what I mean?
so true.
So,
And a lot of times people think that, hey, when I get my own, then I'm going to do A, B, and C. Well, guess what? You have to be found faithful over the little before God will open up doors of opportunity where you can be a blessing to others.
Find a way to
So
be happy
everything
right now
is a
where you are.
prerequisite. Just like with becoming an attorney.
Right.
You don't become a practicing attorney by waking up one day and say, hey, I'm a practicing attorney. There are prerequisites. You have to get a degree. You have to have the undergraduate. You have to now go and study and become the Juris Doctorate and get that degree. Then you got to pass the law exam, the bar test, and then you have to. So
there's
are
a big
steps.
debate out there that's a new development though.
What is?
All those steps.
Really?
The bar exam's been around for a long time, since I can remember or read back to. But yeah, it was traditionally an apprenticeship profession, just like everything else. So
Really?
you just got up with another attorney who would take you on, okay, and he would train you,
Teach you.
and then you would sit for the bar. And the
Wow.
question was, were you good enough to pass the bar? I mean, you didn't have to have an undergrad and grad school and everything. And, those are huge machines, man. How much money does it cost to do that stuff? You know what I mean?
That's
It's
right.
ridiculous. You know? But
And I think there's something to that, because if they force you to go through those steps, then obviously somebody's getting rich in the process.
there are a lot of people getting rich off the college game. That's a whole nother game.
That's right.
Pick up some haters there. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of people getting rich off the college game. That's another show. But yeah, you do have to go through steps in life, period. But even before, you had to go through steps. You had to learn it to get to where you wanted to be.
Absolutely.
So then.
So we have to work. We have to put our time in.
Yes.
We have to make this our ministry. We have to do this not only for ourselves, but for our families, for our Creator, for the world, for others to be able to benefit. So it's no start and stop. It should be a part of who you are, what you are, and you need to find that inspiration. You need to find that vision to be able to do that on a consistent basis.
You have to. And then you pop up every morning early.
That's right.
Pop up every
Excited.
morning. Excited.
That's right.
And you might find that you're staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning working on your thing. Whether it's your job or your business or whatever it is. And then you're popping up ready to go at 5 a.m. Okay?
That's right.
You might and you might need less sleep. You might have more energy. I know. I do it all the time. Okay?
It's important.
It's important. It's important
You owe
to
it
get
to
out there and
yourself.
get out. You owe it to yourself.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Family, don't go anywhere. We're here with Greg McIntyre, the McIntyre Law Firm. His website is mcintire.com. McElderlaw.com, McElderlaw.com. Be sure to check them out on social media at Lawyer Greg. Whole bunch of wealth of information that's out there. Be sure to give them a call at 704-259-7040. That's 704-259-7040. Don't go anywhere. We have some more for you. You're listening to the Profit and Growth Hour here on WDRB Media and WGIV, the soul of Charlotte. I am Dr. Business, and we'll be right back.